So today we're going to be talking about three UFC fighters that have underrated resumes, in my opinion. I'm going to say that for the ones in the back. In my opinion. So starting off with Merab. Look, I understand this guy. In terms of watching him fight, I don't have one nice thing to say. He is boring, dog shit. Um, Honestly, I can't find anything nice to say about the guy in terms of his fight style. However, this guy's got one of the best resumes in bantamweight history. Like, you can't even argue that. In his last five fights, this guy has beaten Sean O'Malley for the title. He's beaten Henry Cejudo, former double champ, former bantamweight champion. Piotr Yan, former UFC bantamweight champion. He's then beaten Jose Aldo, arguably the greatest featherweight of all time, one of the all-time greats. And he beat Marlon Moraes, former title challenger, who he finished. That is Merab's last career finish. But again, everybody finished Marlon Moraes at that point of his career. Can't really look into it too much. But like I said, this guy is a bantamweight champion now. He doesn't even have a title defense, and he is already one of the all-time greats. You cannot dispute it. You cannot argue it. This guy right here, if he beats Umar Nurmagomedov at UFC 311, could be pound for pound number one. I think if he beats Umar at UFC 311, he is the greatest bantamweight of all time. Right now, it's Aljamain Sterling in my opinion, but if Merab is able to beat Umar at UFC 311, which personally I think Umar is going to beat him, I think Umar is going to submit him due to a rear naked choke inside 2 rounds, but I would love to see Merab get the win. I feel like everybody needs to get behind this guy, pause, because he is the best personality in the bantamweight division, easily. One of the best personalities right now in the UFC, easily. I mean, this guy creates drama everywhere he goes, whether he's fighting with fans, he's fighting with Umar, he's slabbering at the audience. I mean, this guy is must-see outside of him fighting. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. He's got one of the best resumes in the entirety of the bantamweight division, and he doesn't even have a title defense. Merab is underrated in terms of resumes. Put some respect on your boy's name. Next up, we've got Pantoja. I'll let this simmer. Pantoja is one of the best flyweights, if not the best flyweight of all time. Call it recency bias, I do not care. Because this is a genuine question. Let me know in the comments below. When are we going to start looking at people's resumes and looking at names on resumes instead of how many title defenses? Because he's never going to catch Demetrius Johnson in terms of title defenses. I think DJ has like 11. Pantoja currently has 3, I believe. And he's 34 years of age. He's never going to get there, in my opinion anyway, because I don't think he'll be around for long enough. He fights like once a year as well. But the flyweight division now is way more competitive, in my opinion anyway, than what it was when Demetrius Johnson was champion. So let's take a look at Pantoja's resume. He's got wins over Kai Asakura, Steve Ercik, Brandon Royval. He's beat him like twice. Brandon Moreno, he's beat him 3 times. Perez, he's beaten Brandon Royval again. Manel, Cap. I mean, this guy has cleared out his division, quite literally completely cleared it out. Now obviously, as you can see, there are some losses along the way. He has lost 3 times in the UFC. He lost to Askarov, whatever happened to that guy, I need to know. And obviously former champion Davison Figueiredo, where if you look at Demetrius Johnson, who yes is a top 5 all-time great, his best win is Henry Cejudo. Now that's an amazing win, and he arguably has 2 wins over him because that last fight there was extremely close. But that's it. John Dodson isn't a bad win. Joseph Benavidez is a good win, in fairness. Joseph Benavidez is a really good win, to be honest. But does the names on Pantoja's resume outweigh Demetrius Johnson's? I think there's a conversation to be had there, but no. Pantoja he is the only champion right now that has cleared out his entire division, beat all of them convincingly. I think he deserves a chance to go up and become double champ, try and challenge for it, and let the flyweights in the top 10 rankings fight and sort themselves out, because there really is no one. I mean, Kai France maybe. That's the only option at flyweight right now, but even still, I think you should let Pantoja move up and challenge for double champ status, because this guy has earned it, and he has completely cleared out his own division. Like, Islam Makhachev hasn't done that. I made a TikTok saying about Pantoja should be able to move up, and people said, what about Islam? But Islam hasn't. Yes, he's beaten Charles Oliveira, he's beaten Arman Tsarukyan before, and he's beaten Dustin Poirier. But there's so many other names in that division that he hasn't faced or beaten. Obviously, he's beaten Dan Hooker as well. But in the flyweight division, Pantoja has beaten anybody half decent. Maybe the UFC should maybe consider bringing back Muhammad Makayev as a new blood. Because one thing about Muhammad Makayev, his fight style is extremely boring, but the guy can't promote a fight. Like, let's not forget, UFC 304, him versus Manel Kape that was on the prelims was one of the most hyped fights, if not the most hyped fight on that card, because of what they were doing outside of the cage. Fight didn't deliver, granted, but the hype that was generated was mega. I think Pantoja is easily a top sixer right now in terms of pound for pound. The fact that he isn't in the top six and they've got him like below Leon Edwards or below Volkanovski, just crazy in my opinion. In this respect is really, I just don't get it. This guy, underrated resume, one to watch out for, arguably the greatest of his own division. And finally, my boy, Leon fucking Rocky Edwards. I don't know what accent I was going for there, ignore me. Leon Edwards, underrated resume. I mean, obviously, this is the thing. So everybody hated him previous to this, sorry. Then he head kicks, KOs Kamaru Usman. Everybody can't get his fucking cock further down his throat. Then he beats Usman again. Everybody loves him. He beats Colby Covington. Everyone in the UK is behind him. Everybody's loving him. Leon's the next big thing. Loses to Bilal Muhammad, and everybody's like, huh, what happened to Leon Edwards? One of the worst champions ever. Yeah, shut your fucking mouth. This guy has a stacked resume. Beat Colby Covington, former UFC interim champion. Beat Kamaru Usman back to back. KO'd him and then beat him by decision. Now, Kamaru Usman at one point in time, people were saying he is better than GSP. People were saying he is the best welterweight of all time. Leon beat him twice. Nate Diaz, I mean, in terms of legacy wise, Nate Diaz really hasn't done much in terms of winning titles and stuff like that. Massive name though. Beating RDA, former champion. Gunnar Nelson, that's a nice win, but again, hasn't really done loads in terms of like belts and stuff like that. Donald Cerrone, former title challenger, beat him. He beat Vicente Luque, someone who's been in the rankings of the welterweight division for ages now. Leon Edwards has an underrated resume. Don't tell me anything otherwise. But yeah, let me know your opinions in the comments below. There are a lot of other fighters, but these are the three that really come to mind for me. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.